How's it, guys? It's Dayvy FPL and welcome back to the live stream. This stream's going to revolve around the season review, so very chilled vibe stream, guys. Don't worry. We're not going to be talking about anything too hectic in terms of FPL. Just simply, this is going to be a closure video. I have YouTube content throughout the entire season, so why not kind of wrap it up with a nice little live stream. You guys can also ask me any questions that you want to in chat. I'm not going to limit them to only FPL stuff, but you can also post maybe your favorite moment that you had this FPL season and who was your best player this entire season. I put Salah on the thumbnail, but for me, he's been a little bit of a troll. Didn't captain him against United when he scored the hat-trick and assist. When I captained him that one time when he was differential, he ended up missing a penalty. Then I ended up selling him, and then he comes off the bench and scores a goal for Liverpool. A little bit sad there about Liverpool not winning the league, but I will say congratulations to you City fans. Commiserations if you are a Burnley fan. It's sad to see you guys go down after so many years in the Prem. In terms of my own team, as you guys can see on screen, the ranks haven't exactly updated yet on the official website, but we are going to be sitting around that 3.1k, which is a lot higher than I was early anticipating. I was kind of happy with the top 5k rank. I thought it might be quite edgy getting into that top 5k. That wasn't the case at all. Absolutely stellar game week from us. 94 points, 90 minus the 4 for the 4-point hit. And those two transfers in was actually Kane and Maddison. So Maddison and Kane both getting some good returns at the end of the day. So super happy with those transfers in. And other notable additions were kind of a Rafinha, Kulusevski doing quite well. Nketiah also getting a goal or an assist, I think. And Saka getting an assist, but I was a little bit annoyed by him that he didn't take the penalty that Martinelli ended up winning. But at the end of the day, Arsenal won. Spurs got top 4, so if you are a Spurs fan, probably quite happy with that. Arsenal fans, sorry for that one. But besides that, the rest of the team wasn't too exciting. Son captain, most captained in the game, kind of I think 70% of the top 10k captain him. So massive ownership there. So luckily, we still did go with Son because he outperformed Kane. And then Edison, Cancelo, what happened in that Man City game, going down 2 goals and then coming back to 3-2. But unfortunately, Cancelo or Edison didn't get any other attacking returns. Trent also conceded to Wolves, and then James ended up starting and also got us an assist. Sorry for that one. You can see it's the end of the season. But unluckily, no clean sheet there. I did see some people in the chat though. As I mentioned on Twitter, this is about celebrating your guys' mini league wins as well. And I saw we had a lot of questions, a lot of regards in terms of you guys winning your mini leagues. A couple of 10ths in the world. So let me know what country you guys are talking about. Abdi and Damina, I don't know if you are the same account, maybe different account, same person, but you both said that you are top 10 in your country. So let me know what countries those are, because I would like to see how well you guys have done. In terms of South Africa, I don't exactly know where I finished in terms of the overall rankings in terms of that league, but I will update that as the leagues kind of update. Sultan saying, how's it? We also have FPL Marking Coyote, interesting name there. How's it? Jade saying, I love you. Also have Domina saying, legend. You guys are the legends for this season. And Tinker saying, good job, Dave, on your OR this year. So actually, I was relatively happy with this OR. I'm just thinking back to now, if I captained Richarlison last game week, where we would have been, because I think that would have made up about 16 points or so on and so forth. So maybe that 16 points would have taken us to closer to the top 1k, but I don't exactly think we would have breached it. Also, FPL Marking Coyote saying FPL meet up in SA for season 1 next season. So, okay, so you're from SA, Marking Coyote. Thought maybe you're from America with that name, but yeah, maybe we can try something happening. Nanad saying thanks so much. He finished 1.1k and won all 4 of his money mini leagues. So well done, Nanada. I'm really proud of you for that. Abdi says Somalia and Damina says Austria. So 2 interesting countries there. Well done, guys. Top 10 is massive. I remember when I finished first in SA, that was kind of where I wanted to finish. I wanted to finish first in SA, and then the overall rank didn't really matter because I wouldn't have come first in the overall ranks. And then we have Rebuild FC saying, rank 27k, not bad for me. Captaining Habits of a Salah in that game week hurt big time, but happy overall. So I share the same sentiment with you because I was a game week 9 Havertz captainer. Definitely the biggest downside to my season, I reckon. And when we think about that, we almost gave everyone else a 26-point head start. So Rebuild FC, don't really worry about it too much. As I said, we gave everyone a head start and you still managed to get in the top 50k. So congrats on that one. Professional FPL coach saying Son triple captain, that would have been massive. I know some people are going for other sort of captains, more differential options, but as I said, if you're going to triple captain, Son is a safe option and it's almost differential because you're getting that extra set of captaincy points. So well done on that. Shirtik saying won his mini league as well. LFG. I'm not going to say those words on the stream, but I know exactly what you were saying. Mark and Cody said top 500 and 6th in SA this season, so great. Do you know where the kind of first in SA ended up finishing? Because I think there was a large majority of the early stage of this season where an SA person was actually leading the overall rankings. So quite disappointed when a lot of them dropped off. But I mean, 6th in SA, top 10 in SA, and top 500 is insane. So congrats on that rank. So saying won my mini league by 110 points. So that was a whitewash there. So those are the mini leagues where you can stop playing in game week 30 because you're winning so much. But yeah, well done on that one. Was it for cash or was it bragging rights? I know work leagues are quite competitive. Friend leagues are quite competitive. Thanks, Dayvy, my best FPL season of the last 5 years. Keep you doing what you're doing. So I'm so happy that you ended up getting your best score. And thanks for becoming a member. I think you're a member or a legend for this entire season, or the large majority of it. So I do appreciate the kind words. Gavin saying, how's it, Dayvy? I won my mini league. Thanks. So that's all I want you guys to do is if you're getting a better finish than last season and you're winning your mini leagues, I mean, what more can you ask for? So I'm really happy that even if I played a small part in helping you guys get a better mini league finish. Just don't get too good at FPL that you don't need me anymore. But no, at the end of the day, I think that's probably a good motto for the channel. What's that dating app? It says the dating app that's meant to be deleted. So maybe we're the channel that you meant to not watch once you kind of get good at FPL. But yeah, overall, I was pretty happy with my overall rank. I think 3K was anything in the top 10K at the start of the season, I said. And I think that top 10K, even though it might not be as desirable as it always has been, I think top 50K, top 100K might be a little bit more of a better representation. But I think any top 10K finish I was happy with. And we managed to get a top kind of 3K finish, which on the last game of the season when I was sitting outside the top 5K, I'm going to take that every single time. 6K overall rank, says Rami. Excellent. Top 10K finish. Lovely there. But as I say, guys, if you don't finish in the top 10K or you have different kind of goals, that's exactly what you should have. Don't kind of base your goals on other people's goalposts. You can shift them to whatever you want. Nihat saying, first time playing FPL, I got 158K overall, so not the best, but won my mini league. So exactly, that's all that matters. When I started my first FPL season, if you guys don't know what the story was with my first season, is I started in game week 10, because I was late to the party because I found out my friends were playing it and I was like, what's that game? So I started game week 10 and I ended up winning my friend's mini league, and that was all I cared about at that stage. I think the overall rank was shocking, but just because I won my mini league and beat my mates, I was pretty happy. So don't worry, I also had a bad first season, and I mean, look what I've kind of made of that. I've got a couple of good rankings now, so you can also do it. Ty the Footy guy saying, my best season ever, but a little disappointed since I dropped outside the 1K. So Ty the Footy guy, this is something that I think, because you're so high in the rankings, you'll always be focused on that, and then maybe in a season's time you'll understand how insane it is to finish around where you did. It's just incredible, you know. So I understand now you might be a little bit disappointed, but I do think in maybe a few weeks' time you'll understand how good that finish is. And when I finished 22nd, I didn't even realize until like now. I'm like, flip, that was an insane finish, you know. So don't worry about that one. Marking Cody said first then SA 50th overall rank, I think. Okay, so that's interesting. I always like to have someone in SA relative to the top. I think 50 overall that's decent, especially if he was he got in the top 50K on the dot, but that's great. Connor Dog saying multiple mini league winners today. Great season overall. Connor, that's exactly what I want to hear, brother. Top 1.5K, lovely game week from you, Dayvy. So tired it was a relatively good game week, to be honest. The transfers paid off. Madison and Kane paid off quite handsomely. The captain of Son looks slightly better than the captain of Kane. Sorry, I should have to go check what Kane's points were. Kulusevski, massive, kind of not as differential as Rafinha, but still relatively good. But what did hurt me, I think, at the end was that Robertson goal. Because I don't own Robbo, and after Liverpool conceded, I was like, you know, that actually might be good for me because I don't own Robertson, but then he goes and gets a jammy goal at the end. So you owners probably were quite happy. Top 4.4, very happy. My cup final is going to a virtual coin toss tonight. Okay, that's a little bit of an interesting one. Imagine you could have like a playoff. Like, I don't know, they did like a virtual FPL for you. Like just a game week where you can pick a random team. But a coin toss for the final winner is a little bit harsh in terms of kind of 38 game weeks. But top 5K finish, Tink is amazing. Damina saying, great work, FPL GOAT. Thank you, Damina. I do appreciate the super chat there. Was that worth the mini league winnings or was it not? It's always interesting for me with with super chats. Honestly, you can say that I wouldn't be as high if it wasn't for you. So thanks, Ty. I do appreciate it. And I always do appreciate your support, whether it's a supporter or being a legend. So thanks. Did you win anything for finishing first in SA in your first season? So marking Cody, I didn't. I think right now there's like a super sport league for SA, but that only came about after I finished where I did that season. So maybe there's someone in the super sport league will get something. But I didn't get anything. I finished 22nd, so out of the kind of overall rankings, prizes. But besides that, there's no kind of awards for first in SA or first in a country. But I think those broadcaster leagues might be. I don't know. But I didn't receive anything, so I can't really attest for that. Your insights are always helpful. Thank you. Thanks, Juan. I do appreciate that. I try to be as helpful as possible. I think I've got a lot of improvement I can do in terms of the content creation. I think in terms of the FPL playing, I'm fine. But in terms of the like YouTube content, I've got a lot to learn. And that's why I always do say, if you guys have any suggestions, you don't necessarily have to post them in the chat right now, but you can DM me on Twitter, DM me in the YouTube comments, that sort of thing. I'm always looking for feedback because I want to kind of grow the channel. And I think by improving maybe graphics or the way I talk or something like that, that could lead to some better success. Take a second, started watching your daily live streams towards the last 5 to 10 game weeks, and I think your concept was very insightful. So Tink 100%. I mean, that's the beauty of FPL at the end of the day, is that we have all these different styles that end up working. You can be a conservative manager, a maverick manager, take like 40 minus 44s every week, and you can still have a relatively good rank. So there's a lot of styles how to play, and I think this season and last season were quite tough because I think I had to adjust my styles into doing better. Going to be a nice break also keen for next season. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to my real job and try and actually do some work for once in my life. But yeah, so I'm gonna enjoy this season and then hopefully next season we can get back on the content creation. Pokot Gunner saying big up from Kenya. Your advice has been goated, first ever top 4K. We go again, 100% next season. You got to get consecutive top 5K finishes. That's what we're gonna try next season as well. Marking code. I remember Premier League live events in SA 5 years or so ago. It would be interesting if it came back to SA and they added FPL and had like a top 10 managers. Okay, so that could be something. I think like SA has a massive market for like the Premier League and FPL and stuff like that, because on SuperSport we have all those shows like Fan Zone. We have the FPL show as well that airs on TV, so that's quite interesting. Motivated me to start a YouTube channel. So Ty, how's it going? Is it are you enjoying it or that sort of stuff? Would you come to Cape Town to watch the Champions League final with some fans? So I could, but I think I might just watch it with my dad and some of my other mates. I feel bad. I've always kind of watched the games, and I'm from like Joburg, so Cape Town's quite a far away, but it could happen in the future. Let's just say that. Are you also a Liverpool fan, or are you a Real Madrid fan? Because then we might have some beef there. Your Ben and Grau have been following you this season, and I love your super blooper. Was super blooper the time I went live? Because that was a little bit embarrassing, to be honest. In terms of like this game week, how did you guys do? Did the transfers pay off? I know Sadio Mane ended up scoring. He could have had a load more. I thought he potentially could have had an assist or maybe even a brace, but unfortunately it just didn't come about for Liverpool. I didn't have a great game overall, and that's what I was a little bit concerned about. But ended up getting the win. But as I said, Man City's win, I didn't think they'll come back from 2-0, and then they ended up coming back, so that was quite disappointing. But I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day, and that is how the Premier League kind of runs at some stages of the late season. What we can also do is we can go through the games and talk about what kind of happened and that sort of thing. That might also be quite interesting. I'm just going to check that everyone can see it. So in terms of the Arsenal-Everton game, I was not super happy because I don't want to ever bring down an FPL asset. But when Edison ended up conceding, at least Ramsdale conceded as well, because then I would have probably been kicking myself. Cedric would have been an interesting punt if anyone went for him. I think there was a couple of options. I think Sessegnon probably took the cake just because he was such a great asset at that price. But Cedric or Tavares would have been quite interesting, and Cedric actually ended up scoring a goal. Richarlison was benched in this game, which I think would have affected most managers. But Nketiah ended up scoring a goal. Gabriel, defender, Martinelli, Odegaard. So the only one who didn't end up scoring was Saka, but he ended up getting an assist, which was quite nice. Pepe also an assist, Martinelli another assist, so he was quite a good haul. And then Brentford, Leeds ended up winning. So if you were a Leeds fan, pretty happy with that. Rafinha and Harrison, mentioned Rafinha being that massive differential. And he also picked up a yellow card, I think. Actually, no, he didn't. He just lost the bonus point. Brighton, West Ham was a surprise to me. I honestly thought that West Ham would have won this game, especially when they went 1-0 up. But Welbeck, I mean, did anyone bring Welbeck in this season? Or this game week? Because I don't know if you guys saw the Brighton Twitter account said like they had the Pele picture and then they put Welbeck in it. But a goal and an assist in the last game week of the season, and they had his price point is sensational. Unfortunately, Burnley, Newcastle won't go over this too much because I don't want to talk about it too much for you Burnley fans. But Gucci's a maximum assist and Wilson 2 goals. Chelsea was a surprise for me because I thought Mason Mount would have banged in this game. It was Barkley and Havertz actually, and then James ended up getting an assist and Kennedy. But the clean sheet loss was a little bit annoying. I don't know, Chelsea at the end of the season haven't been that great, especially at home. Crystal Palace United, this one I will talk about because obviously I am a Liverpool fan. So Crystal Palace ended up beating United with the Zaha goal. Why couldn't Zaha do this in the double game week last time? But it is what it is. Leicester 4-1, a Vardy goal and assist. We had Maddison goal and assist, and we obviously brought him in. Southampton on the beach, so I kind of expected that one. Liverpool Wolves, a surprise for me. I thought this game would be a lot easier. Salah ended up scoring after everyone kind of sold him, which as long as your options that you brought in scored more than him, you're perfectly fine, which Maddison did for me. And this game was probably the game of the game week. Man City and Aston Villa. Gundogan came on as a sub, I think, and ended up saving them. But De Bruyne assist, but nothing from Cancelo, and he was the popular one. And then finally, we have Spurs 5-0 against Norwich. At least this game paid off because there was a lot of hype that went into it. And I think I was bigging up this game a lot. So if this game kind of faltered, it would be quite embarrassing. But at least Son, Kulusevski, and Kane all returned. And I think I was just happy that I owned the triple up. I mean, Sessegnon didn't get any attacking returns. But at the end of the day, he still got the clean sheet. And for his price point, that in my opinion was worth it. Because his price point was pretty low. Okay, so we do have some more comments here. So Alexander saying congrats, big boss. So Alexander, how did you end up finishing? Did you win your mini league, or was it a little bit of a rough day? So Jade's saying Manchester United fan. So hopefully you enjoyed my Crystal Palace review there. Did Salah plus Jesus to Son plus Vardy from -4. So that's very nice. The Salah to Son move was so simple and effective that I do feel sorry if maybe people went a bit more differential because, I don't know, to go differential from Son versus Norwich must have taken some courage. Jojo's Revenge with the super chat saying, keep up the good work. Managed to win my mini league and finish top 100 for the 3rd season in a row. So Jojo Revenge, thank you for the continued support. I think you've been in basically every deadline stream. So I always do appreciate you joining. And thank you for the super chat. And congrats on the mini league win and yet another top 100k finish. Was deciding between Son and Tony or Kane and Maddison and ended up giving Son and Tony. But as they say, hindsight is a nice thing. And I would have expected Brentford to play better against Leeds. But, I mean, at the end of the day, as you said, it's hindsight. And Son over Kane is a better move, I thought. Especially if you're going to captain Son, I think. I was also debating Sessegnon or Tony from -4 and went for Tony. Yeah, but I think you asked that question in the stream and I said go for the attacker because it's just not an exciting pick. Thanks for the incredible season, says Unkit. Thank you for the support. Becoming a member / legend. I can't exactly tell the difference between the two at the current moment, but I think this might be a supporter badge, or if it is a legend badge, I apologize for that. When are you free for drinks? Location, Monte Casino. Time for a break now that we can focus on Bafana. So I'm so disappointed in Bafana because I don't know if you guys did this, but I applied for World Cup tickets from Qatar, and I applied for them and they're going to let us know in like a week or so. Like there's a raffle. You might have already had tickets and so on and so forth. But if SA qualified for the quarterfinal or the World Cup, I would have 100% gone. But now I don't know if I can justify it because my home country is not attending the World Cup. So yes, I could go to some good games, but I don't know. I just wanted SA to be there. I don't know about you. Like I think I would have gone because I don't know the probability of South Africa qualifying for another World Cup at least in the next couple years. So the Monte Casino sounds good, but no, we won't focus on Bafana. Won my mini league love from Joburg. So Ethan Holiday 100%. Maybe in a mini league with some people I know. You never know. I've always wondered that. Maybe there's some of you from SA that know someone that I know in a mini league, and you end up beating the person I know, but secretly you follow me and they don't. Connor Dog can't stay much longer. Thank you for the hard work and looking forward. Thanks, Connor. Appreciate it, and well done again for winning your mini league. Moshe is saying finish 5K and won my mini league by 1 point. That's an absolute clutch play there. Also, what do you think about Mbappe staying in Qatar? Sorry, Paris. I don't exactly know. I want to get some clarification on his contract because some sources, they might not be 100% confirmed, but they were saying a 300 million euro signing bonus. So PSG have taken a player that they own currently and they're paying 300 million for him yet again. I don't know. I think in terms of the play, you got to respect it. I mean, he's getting an absolute insane stack of cash, but I just don't know. I think he might have played Real Madrid and I think they might be a little bit salty. I think in terms of his development, I think Real Madrid was better than PSG, but if you're going to worry about money and maybe that's what he's worried about, then I mean, you have to respect the decision at the end of the day. Slay saying, Dayvy won my mini league because I went Havertz instead of Mount last second. That's an absolute clutch play. I saw when Havertz started, I was like, he could be a nice little differential. And what ends up scoring, Mount doesn't. But I do think Mount had a good game. I think that he was unlucky not to get any returns. That's what I've seen. Always great to see your videos. Looking forward to next season. So that's the nice thing about we can take a little bit of a break, get hyped for the next season, and go in fresh. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a little bit tired, not like kind of FPL, but of the routine of FPL, kind of making videos, deadline streams, focusing on the games and everything like that. I think it's going to be a nice break to have. But maybe I've seen some people that are so excited that the league's come to an end because they've hated this FPL season. But I think I've enjoyed it quite a bit just because of the variability and that sort of thing. Connor Dog with the super chat saying, only fair to share percentage of the mini league win. 100%, Connor. I do always appreciate that. You don't have to share anything, but I do always appreciate the support. And once again, well done on winning that mini league. And hopefully next season they invite you again, because if you're going to keep on winning, they might not. That's something that I'll advise you guys. Be very careful about dominating a mini league, because your family will just stop inviting you or paying you money. Wish Mbappe had that signer's bonus to Eskom. I had load shedding at 4. So we didn't have water today. So I woke up today without power and water. But, as I said, welcome to South Africa. I love your streams. I really enjoy that you do streams after the matches, Mikhail. So this is probably the first time I'm doing a stream. If you guys do enjoy kind of a recap stream, I could also consider doing that. But I just kind of wanted to do this stream as a little bit of closure. Also talk to you guys a bit more on a chilled level. Because as I said, we make videos every week. So it makes sense to wrap up the season with a video showing where we finished in the overall ranks and celebrating you guys for maybe you made a massive comeback or you just won your mini league for the 5th year in a row. I'm just saying you had a great season, waiting on you getting in the top 10 OR. So I would hope that I would get in anywhere near those sort of rankings again, similar to 22nd. I just think there's a very small percentage of people that have had kind of a top 50k finish twice in their lifetime. But we're young, we're fresh. We've got a lot of seasons upcoming in terms of FPL, so I'm not ruling it out, but I think it's going to be quite hard to finish there again. Any betting mini leagues in Mzansi? So the thing about the betting leagues is they're not meant to be an FPL. So the money, the prize money mini leagues are done under the table. They kind of, as far as I know, they're on the rules of FPL. The rules is that you can't not allowed to have them, but there are a few. I think when I was first starting in in my YouTube career, there was a South African league that approached me and they said, we have like a big mini league. So I'll try and find the name and just ask me at the start of the next season, and then I'll try and get it to you. But there are a few. I think you just have to kind of look, but just look at the kind of broadcasters like the other YouTubers, maybe more general football channels, and then you could find them. Thanks, Ty. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it, brother. Hopefully you enjoyed the break as well. TS saying overall rank 1.4k. I couldn't have done it without you. Really am thankful and think you're the best FPL content creator. So I don't think I'm the best FPL content creator, but if you say so, I'll agree with you. 1-3 mini leagues going to get my favorite club jersey. What jersey is that, Tia? Hopefully it's not a Man City jersey or United jersey. Anyone else is fine, but no. All jokes aside, if it's as long as you manage to get your favorite team's jersey, and that's something that's tangible, like a top finish is good, but if you don't have anything to show for it, then it might be a little bit disappointing. But as you've said, you've won 3 mini leagues, and now you're actually getting a prize at the end of the day. So that's all that you can kind of ask for at the end of the day. In terms of the other things that happened throughout the game week. Salah was actually benched that we spoke about. And in terms of the other talking points, we have the Champions League final coming up. I don't know if you guys are have predictions for that, but I might not want to actually see them because they might not be for my club, Liverpool. But I currently think that Liverpool could potentially do it, but I'm just a little bit skeptical, to be honest. I'm a little bit worried about Real Madrid at the end of the day. That's all that I'll say. But maybe you guys have more faith in me. But I just think if you watch Liverpool play today, it was shocking. And that's why I'm a little bit worried about them. Number one Stunner saying, I want my mini leagues because of you. Thank you. But I'm pretty sure you could have done it on your, by yourself as well with a little bit of guidance. But if I did impact you a little bit, I always do appreciate that. As always, I want to try and make you guys better FPL managers. Hey, what a last game. Like fixtures at the end of the season, my poor nerve, says Melissa. So, Melissa, are you a Liverpool or a Man City fan, or are you just a general football fan? Because I do agree with you. I won't lie, when Aston Villa went up 2-0, I was like, we have a big chance of winning. But the thing is, at that moment, Liverpool were playing shockingly. We didn't even look like we were going to score. So I was a little bit worried at then. But once they scored the first one, I was like, here it's coming. And then they scored the second and the third, and the rest is history. But Melissa, hopefully you had a good game in terms of this game week for your FPL team. Quran saying, I've been watching you from the early days. You've been killing it. Thank you, Quran. If you're one of the OGs, I always do appreciate the OGs. There's a few people, I think, that started watching me in the first season and then have kind of continued. If you have, then, I mean, you might have had 3 top 10K finishes, but if you started later, you also would have been fine. I think last season was probably a bad one, but I mean, at least the faith has been redeemed now in the 2021/2022 season. Hopefully the 2022/2023 season is even better. It's going to be quite hard to beat 3K though, I think. Thanks, Mister, for the kind words. It really makes my day and makes what I do even easier. You're holding a football family here, so exactly. I do think that we've got a nice community here on the Dayvy FPL channel. Hopefully we can extend that next season. The Discord has been up for members for a few weeks now, but haven't really been that into it. I think next season we'll make it open for everyone, and then we can have some nice chats on there. I think it's almost going to be like a Twitter space sort of vibe where we just go on and we can just talk or ask questions. I think it might be a little bit more personal, and the Q&A should be a lot better there. Early predictions for next season: top point scorers, biggest value increase from this season to next. I think someone like a Cancelo or James are going to be quite heavily increased. I think we're going to see them similar to like a Trent and that sort of thing, unless Trent is reduced, but I don't think he will. In terms of the top point scorer, I think Salah will still be up there. I think that Son, if he continues to kind of keep up this form, he'll be strong. I think any Man City asset could be quite good if they play in the majority of games. I mean, a KDB, if he's fit for the entire season, could be quite nice. A Haaland, I mean, we haven't even spoken about Haaland kind of entering into FPL. That's going to have massive implications, in my opinion. So that's going to be quite interesting to see, but it's a little bit hard to say. I think that I would still put money on Salah to do well if he stays at Liverpool. I think that just because he plays the majority of games, and it's going to be quite interesting to see what 5 subs do. But yeah, JoJo's Revenge, I think someone like a Cancelo or a James will have quite a heavy increase. The thing about next season, though, is that FPL have to be very careful about prices because they can't price everyone too expensive and then you can't afford anyone. So I think they still might be quite good. Will you do a season review video? You have unique videos when you made it live stream by mistake. Okay, so I'm not going to do that like kind of remember what happened there with the going live when I was recording a video. But in terms of the season review, I don't know how many people would be interested in that. I think if you followed the channel throughout the entire season, you kind of know what happened anyway. I made this video because I wanted to kind of just wrap up the season, show you guys where I finished if you don't follow me on Twitter, that sort of thing. And just as I said, celebrate if you guys won your mini leagues, give you a bit of a shout out because as Melissa was saying, we are family at the end of the day. So any celebration that you guys have is equally as much of a celebration for myself. Bob saying, thanks Dave, I won my mini league and finished in the top 100k. So Bob, proud of you. Hopefully it was a nice mini league to win, if it was kind of bragging rights or money or that sort of thing. And hopefully next season you can go back in and win it again. Karen, great week, Davey. So Karen, how did you end up doing this season and this game week? Was it also a good week for you? I'm sure as a Spurs fan, you're pretty happy with the Champions League And like myself, I was pretty much a Spurs fan today. Captain Son had Kane and Kulusevski, and they all ended up returning. Tinker, I used to tweet at you in the season of YouTube with help making transfers. Oh, you've always been the code. Thank you, Tinker. Hopefully I replied then, because I know, guys, on Twitter, it's something you have to know about me. I'm shocking on Twitter. I don't reply. I don't tweet, that sort of thing. It's just because, I don't know, I might be a lurker some days, but I just generally aren't on Twitter as much as maybe other content creators. But I think it is something I'd have to improve. Israel saying, started following you late, but it will be nice if you post your team on time. So that is something that we can do. Next season, maybe we stop posting the team. We'll see how it goes. Haven't really decided yet, but there's been kind of a little bit of flack because of people posting their teams with the deadline and that sort of thing. If you're feeling disappointed tonight, yeah, so I 100% agree with you. I wasn't too disappointed from a Liverpool fan point of view, and the reason for that is that it wasn't in our hands. We needed City to draw or win, and they ended up on a draw or lose, and they ended up winning. So we did our end of the bargain, but you can't really rely on other teams to do your work, and that's why I think I was a little bit. I was obviously disappointed and sad, but I wasn't. I'll be more sad if we don't win the Champions League. Let's just say that. Tinker saying you did reply, but that was a few years ago before you became famous. So I don't think I'm that famous, Tinker. Maybe when we hit 100k subs or something, then I can be famous. But I'm sorry that I only replied to you then. Yeah, exactly, man. So we can't expect another team to win the league for us, and we've had opportunities. We drew to City, we drew to Spurs, and I mean, at the end of the day, as you said, you can't rely on other people to do your work. And I think if we look back on the season, there'll be some moments that we regret. But I'll always say that Man City squad is just insane. The amount of people they can bring off the bench through the entire season, they just have such quality amongst the ranks. And it's just really such a quality team. I mean, the 3-2 are just kind of a compliment to how good that team is. And for Liverpool to go toe-to-toe to them has been insane. I don't know if you guys watched the Gundogan interview after the game, but he said, it's like if Liverpool weren't up here, I think we would have made this league quite easy. And I don't want to see the Prem become kind of like a Bundesliga or a Ligue 1 and that sort of thing. Marshawn saying, thanks for the tips, Dayvy. I finished overall 5.9k in the world. Also won the Discovery Indoor FPL League. Thank you for the tips through the season. So what's the Discovery Indoor FPL League? Is it kind of just like a five-a-side thing? Is it in your country or what? Marshawn, let us know about that. I'm interested to see what the Discovery Indoor FPL League is. And was there like a kind of a prize for it? That sounds like quite an interesting thing. Kind of combining, if it is five-a-side, like real football and FPL. If Liverpool were winning when City were losing, do you think they'd pull a comeback? Tinker, I don't think the players knew at all. I think the only people that knew were the people on the bench. It's same with the Liverpool game. Like, if you saw Virgil in the background of Klopp, he was like talking to everyone, and I can understand that they kind of knew. But I think the players didn't know at all. And I think Hendo, in his press conference, also said that he didn't know what the score was. The fans would cheer so much that you never know if it was a goal, if it was two, that sort of thing. I do think Salah thought he won the league though, because he celebrated quite nicely after his goal. And remember, he was on the bench. So I think he knew when he went on that City were losing 2-0. And that's why I think that he celebrated so much. But yeah, I don't know, Tigger. It might have. At the end of the day, we can't really go back, but I don't think it would have had too much of an impact. Brian says, thank Dave, love your content this year. I won all my mini leagues and finished just outside the top 5k, which is the personal best. So 100%, Brian, a top 10k finish is always something to be proud of, and winning your mini leagues is even more. What's nice to see is people don't just necessarily win one league, they win like 5, and I'm just like, I need to find some mini leagues to enter where people are winning all this cash, because I generally just focus on overall rank. S1 says, I reckon streamers shouldn't post their team live. People just copy every move every week. Loads copy FPL Mate and Andy this season. So the thing about, I don't know if Mate and Andy post their teams though. I post when I make transfers all the time, but I don't think they like post where they make transfers. So over the season, you're gonna have that team value difference. So yeah. Marshawn saying South Africa Discovery Park in Joburg has a league with about prizes a Puma hamper. So Marshawn, what day do you play league? Because I have a lot of mates that play five-a-side there. Maybe you've played against them, but yeah, let me know what day you play and what like division and that sort of thing. Because some of my friends play there quite regularly. City and Liverpool making history, the healthy competition. Yeah, I think it's, to me, the rivalry isn't too big between them. Like, I think if it was a United and Liverpool, there wouldn't be such praises. But I think, like, Man City and Liverpool respect each other quite a bit, which I think is quite weird. But I think it's one of these new age rivalries where the teams are just so good that it's like you have to respect each other. Where I think in the past there's been quite a big rivalries historically between other clubs. Because saying, keep doing what you're doing, Dayvy. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Always just like to get some feedback. But don't worry, if it mustn't always be positive all the time. If you guys do have negative feedback, you don't have to post it on the stream, but you can post it in my Twitter DMs and all that good stuff. Just to let me know how I can improve, because I'm always looking to like kind of improve. I think the new thing this season was the camera, the webcam. I don't know if you guys have enjoyed that or not. I started doing it on the videos, and I think I've got slightly worse. I just think it takes so much time to set up the webcam and edit the webcam and render everything. So I became a little bit lazy on it. But if it adds like a lot to the videos, I can always bring it back, but I just don't think it necessarily does. I think the points that I talk about and my insight is always going to be there. It just depends if you guys can see my face or not. And I don't know if you will be looking at my face the whole time. Just listen to the words I say and the insights I give, and you should be fine. But as I said, if it makes the videos look that much better, I can always bring the webcam or the face cam back into my videos. It's one saying they stream live and show their moves usually just before the deadline. It's fine. People copy. Yeah, so people do copy. I think between my kind of my league, I don't think actually there was that many people that ended up copying me. I'll go and check the overall rankings at the end of this. I think it was like 1 or 2 people, and I literally I post everything that I do. But I do agree with you about the deadline streams. But the deadline streams are a little bit weird because this season we've had to wait as long as possible to make the moves. Excuse me on that one. We've had to wait as long as possible because there's been such speculation about positive tests and that sort of thing. So this season was definitely like that, but I think next season might be a little bit different. Like we might be making moves midweek and that sort of thing. And then if you don't announce what you're doing, people can't really copy you. Abdul saying, Dave, you're a legend. Thank you. You guys are the legends. I like that phrase, and that's why I called it like if you become a member of the channel, you can become a legend, because I enjoy that saying. Thanks, Melissa. Again, what was your game week rank? So, Harry, the game week rank was, I think it was around the 50k mark. I don't know. Like, is there a way to check that? Is it up now? Like on FPL? Okay, it's not up now, but I think there was a website I saw. Let me see if I can get it. Actually, it's this one here. So I don't think you guys can see this. So let me just move this. Bear with me. Can you guys see that? Yeah, so this was the Content Creators League that I'm not actually a part of. Someone sent me this and I actually have to go check it. But it's on fplgameweek.com, and they basically have made a league manually of all the content creators. And someone sent this to me and they were like, you're not in this league. So I have to ask them to add me. I'll probably tweet them after this and ask them to, but I'm number 6 here. And that's why it's my team name, because all the others have been manually inputted. But I would have finished 6th, and you guys can see here that live rank is this, and it's 55. So that was my overall rank. Yeah. So let me get back to the other team. So if you see me tweet them, just like the tweet so that they can understand to add me. Okay, that should be fine then. Let me get back to the chat. Sorry, I put it down. A differential bonus would incentivize different selections. So Chris, so are you talking about like in FPL, like a differential bonus if your player's lowly owned? That could be quite interesting. But yeah, I don't know too much about that one. FPL Rohit saying fantastic. Thank you. I do appreciate the kind words. Keep up the great stuff. Thank you, FPL. Rohit's, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I do appreciate the support. And Abdul saying, watching you since the last 3 years. So how the finish has been over the last 3 years? Have you improved every year, Abdul, or has it gone down? Thanks, Harry. Yeah, so the 50k overall rank is pretty good, I think, and I think it was down to these transfers. So Madison and Kane in was very nice, especially because I think that Madison outperformed Vardy, but I might be wrong on that one. I think he might have slightly. So then I was happy that I went with Kane and Madison instead of Mount and Vardy. How many transfer hits did you take this season? So that's a good question. Let me actually go check this for you. Is there a way to do a season review? Is there any website that does it for you? Otherwise, I might just have to do it manually, which might take some time. Yeah, I don't know. Is there do any of you know a website or something that I can go on and do it? Because that would be quite easy to just get track. I don't know if Fix does it. Does Fix do it? Because then maybe I could. I don't know. I don't know if Fix does it. But yeah, if there's a website that does it for you, that'll be a lot easier. Just because otherwise I have to manually do it. But yeah. FBall Tools does it. Okay. So just bear with me here, guys. Would it be the FPL Team Analyzer? I can't. I don't exactly know where it is on the website. You could have counted by now, says S1. You underestimate my maths ability. Okay, so I can actually just count it here. Where is it on? Which one is it on this season? Is it TC? Transfers made, transfer cost. Is that it? 8, 12. Uh, 68. If I am looking at this correctly, if I have the right, yeah, if I have the right, if I have the right column. So if you guys go onto your game week history, it's TC. Is that right? I think that's transfer cost, inverted commas. So transfers made, transfer cost. If that is it, I've made 68 points of hits, which is not too fantastic when I think about it. But yeah, quite a hit-heavy season, I think. Breen says, cheers for the content this season. Finished 41k. I could have went for Madison and Kane -4 to get top 40, but I'll take it over the season. Gutted City came back, but we have exactly. I'm confident about the Champions League final, and if we do win it, I think it'll be a great season for us. But well done on the top 50k finish. How do you make a decision between avoiding the price rise versus making a decision before the deadline? So this season was a very kind of listen to the information season. Prior seasons that I can just recall myself, I made transfers in the midweeks. But because of all the positive tests and that sort of thing, we became very scared, and that's why we waited as long as possible. But now, saying that, going into next season, I think I will still wait as long as possible to get as much information as possible, because I just think that can give you a better FPL decision at the end of the day. And we have had early team news and that sort of stuff. It has gone down since the deadlines moved, but I still do think we could get some early team news in the future. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question, but I would say I think I'm an advocate now for waiting as long as possible. Superstar, do you think having 5 subs will change the game? I do think it will. Like we saw in the FA Cup final, when Salah went down, he got subbed because they have 5 subs. Whereas if you have 3 subs, you might be like, listen, let's maybe play on or something like that. And I think generally the more premium assets are going to be protected with those 5 subs. I mean, Jurgen Klopp is a fan of 5 substitutes, so I think Liverpool are going to be quite a hard team to predict next season. I don't play for money or overranked 200. I think I took a few of the Maverick suggestions just to chance it. So that's 100% fine. If you're happy with that finish, that's a great finish. And how does it compare to your prior finishes? Because if it's better than your last year one, then you're making progress. Yeah, so it will be on chance on the bottom. Okay. I made 50 total transfers if it hasn't updated yet. But yeah, as I said, I made about like 68 points hits this year. Face saying, thanks for everything. I followed you for the last 3 years and your insights and tips made me win my own leagues. Thank you. I do appreciate it. As long as I'm helping you, that's always good. Alan saying, enjoyed the season, finished second in the work league. So got some cash coming away. Enjoyed your channel. Thanks, Alan. Enjoy the money. How long have you been playing, David? I've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is my 6th season. 4th season making YouTube content, but I played 2 seasons before that. Congrats, says Zap. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Tinker said I took 76 points hits. Melissa saying, any chance you do videos outside of fantasy, like preseason videos that look for promising players? So I could do that. I just found like FPL is probably my like niche content. I have made channels. I have made YouTube content on like general footballing stuff, but I don't think I'm in that space yet. So it's going to take some time to get some traction on that front. But for now, it's probably just going to be FPL, and we might still do 1 or 2 fun videos though next season, depending on how much time I have with work. Zap saying I finished 79k last season was my first full season and finished 500k. So look at that improvement. You've almost made 10 times the improvement, Zap. So massive rank gain there and improvement made. So I'm proud of you. That's all I want to see. But yeah, we've been going for about 50 minutes, guys. About 45 minutes in terms of actual talking time. Always go for 5 minutes before just kind of hyping up the stream, waiting for people to enter. So I do think I'm going to kind of wrap it up here. I do appreciate you joining and kind of contributing to the chat, contributing to the channel over this entire season. The support has been insane. I do always appreciate that. And hopefully, as I said, you guys have had an enjoyable FPL season. If you're not enjoying FPL, then DM me and we can change something about that. Maybe we can make some Maverick moves. But at the end of the day, if you're coming away from a fantasy game unhappy, then maybe we need to make some changes on that. And I want you guys to enjoy at least next season then. But yeah, as I said, thank you for support. I really do appreciate it. And for the last time this season, I'm going to be signing off. It's been Dayvy FPL. And I'm out. Cheers. Bye.